Hi everyone, welcome to the next episode of Prasidee Podcast. Our guest today is a beautiful mompreneur, Prachi Chopra, founder of Insia Jewelry. A mother of two and now a successful entrepreneur, she has pioneered the contemporary jewelry space and introduced the concept of allergy-free jewelry in India. So Prachi, just tell us about yourself and what does Insia offer exactly?
Astha, hi, I'm Prachi and I am the founder for Insia, which you can see is a statement fashion collectible brands. Basically, Insia offers all what you don't get in Indian market these days. It has a very exclusive kind of styling. It has very unique quality. And apart from that, we have a whole huge range which caters to each and every woman. What they can, think of in terms of fashion. And on a personal front, I'm a mom of two. I've been working as a professional earlier and helping my husband in his business initially. But the dream to take off on my own has always been there, and that's how Insia was born.
That's wonderful. So, during our earlier discussions, you told that when you moved here, your son was very, very young also. Now, that time, it is a time when most of the moms would like to sit and enjoy with their kids, but you opted to start something of your own. So, how did that happen?
Okay, I moved back to India from China. We were settled there for 10 years. While we settled here basically for our son's education.
Okay.
And my husband doesn't stay here. I moved in with my in-laws for that. So while we were settling down and being a very fashion-forward woman, when I used to go shopping for some fashion accessories, I couldn't find something unique. I saw everybody else was wearing the similar kind of a stuff. And there was not much which catered to my taste. And then whatever was available on online marketplaces also had a very poor quality. And then we had to kind of compromise on that. So then this came as an inspiration, okay. And then my son was also going to school for a longer time. I had honestly nothing much to do except for whiling away on the social media and things. So I thought it's high time I pursue what I always wished for, because fashion has always been there back of my mind all the time. So that's how Insia was born.
That's wonderful, and I really hope other moms out there would take a cue from your example and start pursuing their dreams. Now, let's talk a bit about your family. What was your family's initial reaction when you told them that you would like to start up something of your own and follow your dream and passion? How did everybody react?
Okay, I come from a very educated family, and having been married to a service class family, my father-in-law is from defense, and then they all are pretty broad-minded that way. But initial reaction was, why? Why do you need it? Because it's not something I needed to do financially for financial support.
Fair enough.
But then my husband has been pretty supportive. Being an entrepreneur himself, he has always supported me with the idea. In fact, you can call him the wind beneath my wings, okay? Because when we started off, I wanted to do on a very smaller scale.
Mm-hmm.
But then he has he has pushed me into making it big with a complete online site, and then he has helped me financially, basically, to run the company. And even now, whenever I'm down or I feel the business is not taking off the way it should be, then he's always been a constant guidance and support to me.
That's wonderful, and I really hope other husbands are listening out there and they must also support their wives like your husband is doing. So, Prachi, we understand that it is a very difficult thing to manage both your home and work, and initially when you started off with it. So just talk to us about how have you managed everything so beautifully?
Okay, when I took off, my younger one was 1.5 years old. It was very, very early for me to leave her at home and leave. But then thankfully I was staying with my family who could take care of her. And because of this thing that I needed to be home quite often. My office is hardly 5 minutes walking from my house. Even now, to pick up my children when they come back from school, I'm there to pick them up, drop them home, and take care of their daily needs, whatever is required. So initially, it was a little tough getting the hang of it, but now it's part of the whole process for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's inbuilt now.
That's great. So it seems like you have planned everything around this life. That's super. Let's talk a bit about your business side. how did you deal with the situation where some collaborators did not take your business as seriously being a woman entrepreneur? It is said that meeting vendors and dealing with vendors is kind of a man's job. Usually men do that better. So have you ever faced any such situation? If yes, then how did you deal with it?
See, initially when we started off, and in fact, I got this experience while we were registering our company. So then that time I was asked for a letter from my husband, declaring that he's okay that I'm doing this business.
Okay.
And then he takes the whole responsibility in case something goes wrong. And I was a little surprised, because applying for these government formalities, why do I need to submit on something like that? Why
Absolutely.
do I need to take, my husband's name has to be there in everything. Okay. And after setting up this whole thing, because I think it's part of the government process that you need to submit things like these for a woman. So later on, even while we were getting with our onboarding of vendors, for that matter, then they were not very, they were a little skeptical about dealing with a woman. They thought probably I won't have an idea about the trade, about the business, about the basic legalities which are involved.
True.
But then in this situation, I feel it's better to be more persistent in your approach, and you need to tell them a little more professional side of you, that, see, this is not, you can't take me lightly just because
Absolutely.
I'm a woman. So you have to stay put, and that works for you.
All right. So although you have, in parts answered what my next question is going to be, but still just give some advice to other women out there who also wish to get into something like this, where they have to deal with male vendors and collaborators. Just some piece of advice.
See, what I would like to advise everyone is, let them not make you feel as if like you're just a woman. Okay, you are a professional by yourself. The way you are qualified, the way you're starting off, taking off. So there's much more within you than they can see. So it's better they see your professional side rather than seeing their softer side as a woman.
That's true.
And you need to stay put.
Thanks for watching this episode of Prasidee Podcast. Hopefully, we have inspired housewives and mothers to think about working towards their passion. We wanted to put across the message that being a woman does not mean that you lose your individuality. Please find all the details of this interview in the description and the podcast show notes. If you like it, please don't forget to hit the red subscribe button below, give it a thumbs up, and share it with your friends and family. For latest updates, please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.